All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 4. That is right, week number 4 of your 9489 class, which is your cultural heritage class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. J.S.K. Austin. And yes, if I play my cards right, I will keep this one below 15 minutes and hopefully more so in the 10-minute range. But we'll see how this goes, because those of you who have had me before know that I ramble a little bit. But let's try to keep this below 15 minutes. I am going to try my best. What we are going to do this week, and we are going out of course order, and I do that all the time anyway, is we are going to do the state of the course update, and then after we do a state of the course update, I'm just going to tell you about 2 recent examples of cultural heritage being attacked and destroyed, and why. Well, we know why it happens, and we have a module that will further explain why it happens, but I still want to just kind of talk about it for a few minutes, okay? So first, let's get into that state of the course update. By the way, you can speed these up. The state of the course update, the main thing that you need to know is that there will not be a check-in video next week. Again, there will not be a check-in video next week, and the reason why is because on Valentine's Day, I'm sorry if you had plans, I'm ruining your Valentine's plans, and I am sorry for that. But on Valentine's Day, on February the 14th, we will have our first sync session. We will be joined by Dr. Stephanie Benjamin, and Stephanie Benjamin is a professor within the tourism department. I don't remember the formal name, but the tourism program at the University of Tennessee. She and I went to the University of South Carolina together, and we're friends during that time. And are still friends, but we don't talk quite as often because that is how life goes. But anyway, she will be doing a presentation on heritage tourism, and yes, we will have a heritage tourism module later on in the class, but I had to go by my speaker's availability. But I do think that she is one of the premier researchers on heritage tourism, and I think you all will really enjoy what she talks about within the realm of heritage tourism. So remember, no check-in video next week. I do not record check-in videos on weeks that we have sync sessions. That's just too much Dr. J is going on. So next week, be ready to, attendance is mandatory, be ready to join that synced session on the 14th, which again is Valentine's Day. The next thing that I want to mention, even though this is kind of out of order, is that you do have an assignment that is due this weekend on Super Bowl Sunday, and that is going to February the 11th. You will turn in your visit to a cultural heritage site write-up and reflection. You will turn that in, and I've spoken about that before, so I'm not going to belabor that point too much, except to remind you all that even though I do try to be flexible, and I've said this before too, even though I try to be flexible as far as allowing you all to, take some time, if you want an extension, take some time, do something you enjoy and get an extension. Even though the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl is not going to be one of those instances, folks. I am sorry. I will not grant you an extension just because you want to watch the Super Bowl. If you want to watch the Super Bowl, and I will be watching the Super Bowl myself, but if you want to watch the Super Bowl, then you need to get your assignment done and turn in early if you do not want to bother with this class on February the 11th. And I understand if you don't want to bother with this class on February the 11th, but again, if you don't want to bother with the class on February 11th, you want to take Super Bowl Sunday to hang out with your family and friends and eat food and enjoy that particular cultural heritage moment in the United States. Super Bowl Sunday is a cultural heritage moment. If you want to enjoy that time, turn your paper in on the 10th. I will not be granting extensions just to allow you all to watch the Super Bowl. Okay. All right. So I think that is pretty much it with the state of the course update. So from here, I do want to go ahead and talk about what I want to soapbox about. And again, I am hoping that you sped this up, and I am hoping to keep this at about the 10-minute mark. But it just depends on how passionate I get about it, I guess. So, okay, so martial arts videos, I don't think you all are interested in that. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. Here is what I wanted to talk about. Again, we will have a module dedicated to this later on in the class, but since there were recent developments on this, I did want to go ahead and put something in the class about it. Yeah, the destruction of cultural heritage, y'all. Okay. It is an intimidation technique, and it is also an attempt to erase history and all of those things. And so very recently, these are two very recent stories. This one was from January the 30th, and then this one is came out on February the 1st. But they deal with these are specifically instances of Black cultural heritage that have been attacked within this country in the past few weeks. So this story, and I'll remember to put these links in the announcement as well. A plaque commemorating Black history of a stretch of the California coastline has been stolen. There's no indication that hate is involved. And I used to be a reporter, so I understand why that's in there, because you can't jump to conclusions, you can't editorialize, you have to work with the facts that are in front of you. And so if the police have not, or whoever has not determined that hate was a motivation, then you cannot just jump to that. However, I can editorialize because I'm no longer a reporter. I am somebody who teaches classes, and I can editorialize here and say that there is actually a good chance that the memorial was stolen in an attempt to erase Black history and also as somewhat of an intimidation technique. Now, here, I don't know how you can say this is not hate. What happened in Kansas very recently was a statue of Jackie Robinson was stolen, and after it was stolen, it was burned. So it's been recovered and burned, but it had been destroyed. Okay. So what I want to say about this very quickly is that there is if you've been watching my check-in videos, you probably saw me in an earlier check-in video say that GLAM, Galleries, Libraries, Archives, and Museums, GLAM, these things sort of document human accomplishment, right? When I talk about human accomplishment, the amazing things that humanity has done, the amazing things that humanity has created, the amazing things that humanity has discovered. I think that our libraries and our archives and our museums and our galleries are testaments of that, right? So you can go in and just be amazed by the beauty of scientific discoveries and artifacts and museums, and you can be amazed by what people were writing in a specific time period if you visit an archive and those sorts of things. Okay, now when we talk about this type of destruction, what goes on with, and these are specifically things that are not necessarily things that are information, right? It's not like written information or even like oral information or anything like that. These are more so commemorations. But still, when you destroy commemorative artifacts, when you destroy commemorative monuments and things like that, that is, again, it's an intimidation tactic. It is an attempt to try to erase a certain part of history, but this is also just a sign to, in my opinion, especially if it turns out that that the story that took place over in California had to do with hatred as well. This is basically a way of communicating, usually within the dominant power structure. So if Black people are not the dominant power structure in the United States, and we are not, this is usually a way of the dominant power structure saying that we value you less, right? We value your accomplishments less. Your accomplishments should not be treated as equal or on the same playing field as ours. What you are is less than what we are, okay? And that is the symbolism that I kind of want you all to take away from this when you see things, when you see Black heritage artifacts or any heritage artifacts that are specifically destroyed. What we're dealing with in these instances is not, I think a lot of people just like to try to write these things off as just like petty mischief, oh, this is some hateful person doing something hateful to be mischievous and to generate attention. No, I don't think it's really that simple. I think it's more than that. I think this is a way of conveying that no matter what you accomplish, we still have the ability to erase it. Okay, that is really what I think is the bottom line when these sorts of things happen. I think that that is the central message. No matter what you achieve, we as the dominant power structure can erase it. And so it is encouraging when I see something like $160,000 have been donated in order to replace the Jackie Robinson statue. That is something that I like to see, but it is a form of resilience that I quite frankly don't think that we should ever have to have in a just society. In a just society, you wouldn't bother something that wasn't bothering you. That Jackie Robinson statue was not harming anybody, okay? And that commemoration to Black history here in California, not bothering anyone. And so this is very much an act of aggression, is very much targeting something that was not bothering anyone. And again, that is the message, that no matter what you can do, no matter what you do and what you accomplish, we as the dominant power force can knock it down, set you back a few pegs, a few steps at will, and destroy what you have accomplished and destroy your record, okay? And so unfortunately, when we are cultural heritage workers, we have to always be vigilant about this. We have to always fight against this. We have to have that resilience to say, if you destroy what we accomplish, we're going to come back 10 times harder. We're going to solicit those donations and replace what you destroy, and you are not going to be victorious, okay? And yeah, let's leave it there. That's really the point that I was trying to get across. And if you have any feedback, you're more than welcome to leave feedback or interesting tidbits in the Free for All area. By the way, Jessie has listed something in the Free for All area. She posted something there. So I would like you all to check that out as well. That is something that I think is worth you all checking out. And please share information with one another. I want this class to be more than just a class. I want it to be a community. I want to build community here. Cultural heritage is about building community in part. And so why not do it in a cultural heritage class with your classmates? Let's be a community. Okay, I will leave it right there. I am Dr. Jace, and yes, destroying cultural heritage is a disgrace. I will see you all next week with Stephanie Benjamin on Wednesday, Valentine's Day. Take care.